Welcome back, everyone. Oh my God, we are on the last session of the 5-day virtual summit. And how exciting is this? So, I am going to share with you my screen to introduce you to our next speaker. She is a speaker, but she's also going to be doing a tutorial for you guys. I'm going to tell you all about it. So, here's Katy. Let me make sure that you guys can see her because I often do this, right? Let me put up her whole screen. Look how beautiful she is. So Katy is the owner and lead makeup artist of Face by Katy Makeup Artistry. She is a full-time art director by day, part-time pottery painting guru, and a beauty business owner. As a natural-born artist, Katy finds herself to be drawn to many passions, but she recently achieved a balance in all of these outlets. So Katy's going into her 13th year as a makeup artist. I know she looks so young. She specializes in primarily bridal and special event services. Her style exhibits a soft, ethereal glow featuring a clean, authentic complexion coupled with a soft, Polish eye. As a visual artist, she prides herself in her painterly approach to makeup artistry and hand mixes every shade and formula of foundation she applies to the face. She strives to provide all her clients with a completely unique luxury experience. So today, she's happy to share with you a makeup tutorial which will feature a step-by-step of a simple and clean everyday look. So guys, help me welcome Katy to. Hey
Hi.
Katy, how are
How,
you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. So I am super excited because I'm always bugging Katy to show me how to slay my eyebrows.
Every day.
And the times that I do bump into her, I see her, I'm always complimenting her eyebrows. So this is perfect. Chantel says hello. Hi, Chantel.
Hey.
So, Katy, the floor is yours. I'll be here. Guys, stay till the end. Actually, I didn't even introduce myself, right? So, my name is Rosa. I am an online business coach for virtual assistant. And Katy, when you are done, we are going to do the raffle. So, guys, make sure you stay till the end, okay?
Stay till the end.
Anything else you want to add?
I
You're
think we're good.
fine.
I think
Good.
we're
I'll
good.
be here.
Yeah.
If you need me, I'll
Okay.
be here.
Sounds good.
All righty.
All
Thank you.
right. Well, thanks everybody for joining. I'm here today to just do a step-by-step makeup tutorial with you guys of my basic everyday makeup look. As you can see, I look completely different right now than I do in my photo with like a super, super glam look, but we're going to stick to the basics today. So what I always start with is skin prep. So a lot of people don't realize that your makeup is only ever as good as the skin underneath it. So it's really important that you guys are using um, some sort of skincare products to keep your skin in a good condition, moisturized, so that your makeup has a good canvas to sit on. So it's just like painting. So we're gonna prep our skin. So I like to start with a toner. I usually wash my face at night. I find that if I wash my face night and morning, it does strip my oils a little bit too much, and it causes me more problems. So I wash my face at night, and then in the morning, I like to use a toner. So I've been using the Dr. Bronner's Rose Organic Balancing Skin Softener, which is really nice. It's cool on your skin. It kind of gets rid of any excess oils that you've built up overnight, and it softens your skin, so it gives you a nice surface to work on. So I just take a little bit of that on a cotton round and I rub it all the way over my face like that. It feels so good. It's like nice and cool. So then once I have toned my face, I kind of let that dry a little bit. And then depending on the season, my skincare products change a little bit. So I'm typically a pretty oily person. So during the day, especially during the summer, I like to use oil-free moisturizer that's a little bit more mattifying. So I use the Formula 10.0.6 degree Is it degree? No, it's not a degree. It's just a trademark. So formula 10.0.6, which is actually super, super cheap. It's like $6 a tube. You can get it at Ulta, I think maybe Target. But this is great because it's really moisturizing, but it's also mattifying. So I find that sometimes when you do buy oil-free products or mattifying products, they do strip your oils and they, again, cause more problems than not. But this one is really moisturizing. So after I tone my skin, I just go in with my moisturizer here. In the winter, I get a little bit drier. So what I like to do is I like to use a more moisturizing cream at night and then this in the morning under my makeup. Because believe it or not, and most other makeup artists will agree with me on this one, I do not use a primer. I do not use a makeup primer, hardly ever, on myself or anyone that sits in my chair. I feel like makeup primers a lot of times have ingredients in them that don't really work well with the ingredients that are in like foundations. So if you have ingredients in your primers that are competing with the ingredients that are in your foundations, it's actually going to cause your foundation to break down quicker throughout the day. So as long as you prep your skin with appropriate skincare products, and of course that's going to look different for everybody depending on your skin type, your makeup will sit perfectly well without a primer. The only time I would say I'd use a primer is if somebody had like really deep scarring. Like you guys can see I have a little bit of deep kind of pores in here. So if somebody had, like, I don't do anything for myself because I don't really care that those are there. They're real. It's real. I have texture on my skin. Everybody has texture on their skin. Nobody looks like an Instagram filter in real life. But occasionally, if somebody does ask, I'll use like a pore filling primer. But that's pretty much the only case I'll use a primer. So once I have my skin toned and moisturized, then I just go in with my foundation. And my everyday foundation that I love and I've been using for years and years, I recommend to a lot of people, is the It Cosmetics CC cream. And as you guys can see, this one's like almost gone because I've been using it forever. But this stuff, it lasts a really long time. It's wicked pigmented, so it is really full coverage. So if you're somebody who doesn't really like a full coverage, this is still great to use, but you can share it out with a beauty oil or your moisturizer. So when my skin's looking really great, which right now it's a little bit red, but I only need to use about a pump of it. So what I do is I just take a pump. Right now I'm just putting it on a palette so that you guys can see. About that much will cover my entire face. So I'm going to go in with a buffing brush. And this one is just actually an e.l.f. brand brush because I don't really spend a ton of money on my own makeup brushes. But the e.l.f. brushes work and they're really affordable. So I take a little bit of product on my e.l.f. buffing brush and I just kind of tap it around my skin. And I just tap it and tap it. I'm actually going to pin this side of the wire. Let's see. I like looking at myself backwards, so I keep getting confused what side of my head I'm working on. All right, so that's out of the way. So I just start blending that in, and I kind of go in circular motions. I bring it down under my jawline. You guys can see like how pigmented that is. It's covering up all that redness. So if you like something a little bit less pigmented, you can get a BB cream or a CC cream that is a little more sheer for everyday wear. I know a lot of people don't like that full coverage look for their everyday makeup. I just blend it until I get my desired amount of coverage. It's a little warm in my house, so I'm like really red. And like I said earlier, bring it down the neck because you don't want to look like you got a mask on. See? And this foundation has like a really nice, natural, dewy, realistic finish. It's not super matte, but it's not shiny or like luminous, I would say. I'd say it's just like slightly dewy. And then once I finish with my foundation, I go in with a concealer. And right now I'm using the Too Faced Born This Way concealer, which I've been liking so far. So I just use a little bit under my eyes just to kind of counteract any darkness that I have under there. And then if I have like any blemishes, I'll just like add a little if I want a little extra coverage. So I don't really need a ton right now. And then I go in with a smaller brush. I like to use a fluffy one for my concealer. Some people like to use just like a flat brush, but I like the fluffy ones. I feel like it does a better job blending it seamlessly. So then I just kind of like tap it under my eye and blend it. Look at how much that lightened up. Woke me right up. So you really only need a little bit of concealer. Do you guys see how long of a way that went? How bright my under eyes got from just 2 or 3 little dots. You don't have to take like a paintbrush and paint like a whole triangle on your forehead and triangles under your eyes and like everywhere. Like you just need a few little dots. That's it. Just a few little dots. And then you just blend it until it is seamless. Like that. So now I go in with a setting powder. And I like to use a really fine milled, loose HD setting powder. And the reason I like that personally is because I feel like it kind of fills in any like large pores or like wrinkles, kind of fills it in a little bit more. So I take another little fluffy brush with that and I go under my eyes and I set that, just because if you don't, it'll crease. But if you have drier skin, a lot of the time you don't even need to use a setting powder. Or if you're oily in your T-zone, you might just tap it into your T-zone, which is right across your forehead, down your nose, and on your chin. That's where I get oily. I get oily on my chin, in my T-zone here next to my nose, and sometimes in my forehead. There we go. So once you're done setting that, you can go in and add some fun stuff. So this is my base. I've got my skin prep on. I've got my foundation, my concealer, and my setting powder. Now, for some people, that might be enough. For some people, you might not even want to put foundation on. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'll just put like a really, really, really lightly pigmented tinted moisturizer on with a little bit of concealer under my eyes. And then I'll go in with like a cream blush and some mascara if I'm doing like a really, really light makeup day. But this is my regular everyday makeup. So if I was going to wake up in the morning, go to work, this is what I would do. So then after I do my setting powder, I go in with my bronzer because I want to add a little definition into my face. Bring my cheeks back a little bit, get rid of some of this here. So I'm going to go in with a brush like this. You can see it has like a little bit of a pointed center because it helps a little bit more with precision. So I'm going to take a little bit of my bronzer, and I use my absolute favorite ever is the Hoola bronzer by Benefit, which is great. This is such a nice bronzer, and they actually have a lot of different shades in this range now. They have Hoola Light, which is amazing because for the longest time I couldn't use this on my fairest clients because it would pull too orange. And then they have a lot of deeper shades as well, which is great that I can use on my deeper skin clients now. So I was super excited when they came out with the other shades in this line. So I just go right under my cheekbone, very lightly. And I come down to about where my pupil would be. Okay. If you come down lower than that and you get towards your, like the corner of your mouth, it's going to look a little bit muddy. So for proper placement, you want to start over here and bring it to about where the center of your pupil would fall. I know it's hard to see in this. I'm doing my makeup in an iPad camera right now. And then I go up on my forehead, add a little bit of bronzer up there. Gotta get that sun-kissed glow, especially now when there ain't no sun to be seen. Sometimes I'll bring a little bit down on my nose. And then I like to do a little bit underneath my chin. And then depending on how natural or dramatic you want to go, you can leave it like light, or you can go in and add like a lot more bronzer, make it a little bit more noticeable. But that looks good for me. And then I love blush. Blush is like my favorite. So I like to go in with Tarte blush. Tarte is a great blush. I also love the Milani Cosmetics blushes that you can just get at the drugstore. Their blushes are to die for. So I just take a small little brush blush and then I kind of like prop up my smile and prop up my cheeks. And that just kind of brings a little life back to your skin because when you put foundation on, it makes your face all one shade. So it's really flat. So when you add, you know, some bronzer and blush, it brings a little warmth into your face. It brings back a little bit of life. It gives it more dimension. So just like that. I also love to use cream blushes. Right now I'm using this powder Tarte one on myself because it's what I have, but I have a lot of cream blushes in my kit that I love to use because they're just so dewy and they're just like butter and they just melt into the skin and they're just super natural and beautiful. So if you are like a really natural girl and you just like to like put a little bit of moisturizer on, a little bit of blush, check out a cream blush because cream blushes are dope. Also cream contours, cream highlighters. Like I love cream products. A lot of people just use powder products, but I love cream products. So speaking of cream products, let's go in with a liquid highlighter. So this is a Becca Cosmetics Shimmering Skin Perfector. So I just like to take a little bit of this. You can use it on your finger. And a tip I learned when I was little from like one of my aunts or something was when you're putting on makeup and you use your own fingers, which your hands are your best tools when you're doing your makeup, use your ring finger because it is your weakest finger. So the less pressure you put on your face, the less wrinkles you'll end up with or something. I don't know. I think that was the logic behind it, but now that I'm thinking of it, I don't really know how accurate that is. But I've done it ever since. So I put my highlighter on, you guys see the highest point of my cheekbones? That is where the light naturally hits. So you want to highlight your skin where the sunlight would naturally hit, or like my amazing makeup light is hitting right now because there is no sunlight. So the highest points of your face. So yes, this is a really nice cream or liquid highlighter, but I also love powder highlighters too. I'm using also a Becca powder highlighter. I just take a little bit on a brush, and if you want to kind of even make that a little more dramatic, which I don't do much for makeup for my everyday. I typically don't do eyeshadow. I'm going to do a little eyeshadow today just to show you guys how to take this like daytime work look into a night look. But I don't do much during the day, so I like to do a bold highlight. I like to put it above my lip, my Cupid's bow, and then I take that same highlighter and I go under and in the corner of my eyes to brighten that up. Just like that. So I am gonna do my eyebrows next, which I know Rosa has been waiting for her entire life.
So you know I had to come back for this one, right?
I know.
So before you start your eyebrows, let me just some questions here.
Sure.
So let's see. Let me just tell you who's watching us because they're saying hi. Said hi everybody here. Chantel was asking him where he's from. Let's see. I'm looking in my Facebook regular page. Ariana says hi, Rosa and Katie.
Hey, Ari.
Hi, Ariana. Gloria says hi.
Hi.
Samantha's watching. She could hear us. Natalie says, how long does it usually take you
to do like my morning makeup every day?
Mm-hmm.
Probably 15 minutes.
That's it?
Yeah.
Including your eyebrows?
Including my eyebrows. How long?
Girl, it takes me over 30 minutes to try to do my eyebrows.
Yeah. I mean, I'm talking through this right now, so it's taking a little bit longer, but I've been going for probably 20 minutes. And what I would do to finish this look to go to work is just fill in my eyebrows and put on mascara. So that's all that I would have left. So for me, that's about 15 minutes. But I'm also going to put like a little bit of eyeshadow on just because I haven't in a while. And I just want to show people how they can take like a daytime look into a nighttime look.
Awesome. Well, you know, because this is the eyebrows, I'm going to stay for this one. That way I can ask you questions as you are doing them.
Yes. All right. So there is lots of different ways that you can do eyebrows. And there's lots of different ways that I do eyebrows. So today I am going to do the Anastasia Dip Brow, which is like a pomade. So it's kind of like a gel, almost.
Like a paste?
Yeah. And then I'm going to go over it with a tinted brow gel. So what I do is I use a brush. It's an angled brush. Use that. An angled brush. with a spoolie on the other end, like that. And I comb my brows like that. And then I take my angled brush and I just rub it into the product. You only need a tiny, tiny bit. This is really pigmented. And then I start underneath and I kind of just follow the line. I kind of need to look like in my actual mirror for this part. Hold on, guys.
So Katy, what's the difference between that, the paste that you're using, or using a pencil?
So I just feel like with using like the dip brow, which is the pomade, I get a little bit more accuracy because I can use it with a brush. Whereas when you're using a pencil, it just depends, like whatever, like however sharp your pencil is like how much precision you're gonna get. So there are pencils that are great. So the Anastasia Beverly Hills has a micro pencil that I've used for a while. That one's really good too. But also you can use powder. Sometimes I just use like an eyeshadow powder on my brows. It just depends on the day. But you can use a pencil, you can use a pomade, you can use an eyebrow powder, or just an eyeshadow if you don't have a brow powder. And what I do is I just...
Chantel says 15 minutes is doable. She loves it.
Yeah, 15 minutes is totally doable. So I just outline the bottom. And then I go in and I follow the direction of the hair. So if you look at the front of your eyebrow closest to your nose, the hair typically grows up. So you want to do light brush strokes going up, following the direction of the natural hair's growth. Just like that. And I don't go crazy. I don't go super, super heavy. I don't color in the whole entire thing. I just fill in where it's slightly sparse. And you guys can see just right now compared to the other one, how it's just a little bit more sharp, a little bit more polished. And then as your hair kind of goes over your eye, it grows sideways. So then you want to start tracing that to the side. And then when you get up over near your arch, it starts growing down. So then you want to just angle your brush down. You guys can see I'm just doing like really short, really wispy brush strokes. I'm not using a ton of pressure. I'm not using a ton of product. I'm just following the natural shape of my brow. I added like a tiny bit in above my arch because you can see it like doesn't really grow there as much. So I fill that in. And then I just...
So I got a question.
Yeah.
Of course, I have a lot of questions about eyebrows. So for those of us that our eyebrows hardly grown, how do we know where to arch the eyebrow?
Where to arch. Okay. So this is like my art skills coming into play here. So I learned all this in art school. So your eyebrow should start where the innermost corner of your eye is, okay? So that's where it should start. So if you don't have hair there, you can add hair there. Or it also lines up with the outer corner of your nose. So if you're drawing a picture, a portrait of somebody, you line up the outer corner of the eyebrow with the outer corner of your eye and your nose, okay? Then your arch is going to start where, if you're looking straight ahead, which it's kind of like hard for me to look straight ahead right now because I'm trying to look at myself in a camera, but your arch starts right about where your iris or the colored part of your eye begins. Can you guys see that? It's like I'm a little bit looking to the side. I can't get my eyes to be straight. See that though? See how it lines up? So that's where your arch should start, right about where the corner of your iris is. So that's where you can start coming up and then going down. Okay,
I'm going to try that when we're done with the live.
Tricks, yeah. So yeah, so that's what I do with my pomade. And then I go in and do the other one. And then I usually just add brow gel just to kind of keep them in place. But if it's a day that I'm like feeling lazy or not doing too much makeup, I'll just throw on brow gel. I'll skip this step. This is just if I want to be super poppin', you know.
Natalie says she absolutely loves cream eyeshadow.
Yes. Cream
Hi,
eyeshadow.
Janet. Thanks for joining. And Ernest and William. Let's see what Chantel says. Oh, Chantel says, how can you tiny your brows? I have a few grays popping through. How do you tame your brows, Chantel? Is that what you mean?
Tame them. So
Especially the gray hair.
Well, I haven't gotten to that point yet, so I wouldn't know how to do that. I would say, like, if you color your hair, though, you can usually color your brows, right?
How do you try to cover up if you were doing a patient, God. If you were doing a client that had gray eyebrows, do you trim them over or do you try to like cover them with color?
I always just go match like what their natural hair is. So if they have gray brows and gray hair, I'm gonna go in with like a really, really cool taupe shade. I don't know if you guys can see this, but like a taupe shade. So I'm keeping it like super, super natural for the most part.
So Chantel didn't mean to say tiny. She meant to say tint. How do you tint your eyebrows?
Tint. I don't do eyebrow tinting. I'm not like a cosmetologist or a hairstylist, so I don't do eyebrow tinting. I would say reach out. I think they might do it at the Benefit Brow Bars, which are at Ulta. So check that out. I know there's a couple different companies that do eyebrow tinting. I don't tint my eyebrows. I just leave them because they just grow this way. As far as like taming my own brows, all I do is I just pluck the strays as they start to come in underneath. And then occasionally I'll brush them up and then just trim.
Oh, yeah. Alheri wants to know, are you using black or dark brown right now?
I am using a dark brown. It's a cool brown. So this one is actually in the shade medium brown. Nope, I lied. It's chocolate. It's in the shade chocolate. So it's a very cool brown. So I have cooler hair. But if I had somebody who had more of like a reddish tint to their hair, I would use a warmer brown. I actually never would use pure black in eyebrows.
How come? It just looks too dark?
Yeah, it's just too bold.
Too bold.
Yeah, too bold. So
Alheri said that some spas do eyebrow tinting.
Sorry, what was that?
She said that in some spa,
yeah, spas are like where you would go to get a facial, estheticians. Yeah, I've never done eyebrow tinting, but I've seen people who have gotten their eyebrows and their lashes tinted. Actually, getting your lashes curled and tinted makes a huge difference.
I know, I should try that. So Gloria says, in my face, guys, I have two monitors here. Gloria says, I usually use the corner of my nose as a 3-point gauge where to start, arch, and end my eyebrow. The eyebrow pencil is a great tool to use to measure the points.
Yep.
I need some.
I
need part 2 of this tutorial.
You need like just a brow tutorial. Just brows. Yep. Perfect. So that is my brows. So like I said earlier, normally if I were to go just to work, the last thing I would do with just what I've done is throw on mascara. But I want to show you guys how we can do this up a little bit if you were going to like go out after work. So if I were to do some eyeshadow to just go out after work, most likely if it was like a weekday, it's not like a weekend, I'm not going to like a concert or the club or anything, I would just use pretty neutral shadows. This is a Vsart palette, which is an amazing brand of eyeshadows. They're super creamy, super buttery. The pigment is like to die for. So I use, I would probably use 3 shades of eyeshadow. So I would go in with like a very, very light cream color, and that would be my highlight shade.
So Gloria said that for medium to dark skin ladies, it'll be great if they try medium to dark brown pencil. Do you agree?
Medium to dark brown pencil. I think it depends on your hair a lot.
So it's not really, so you're not, so we shouldn't go by so much by the skin tone. It's more by the hair.
More by the hair, I would say. Yeah. And if you have like more cool hair or warmer hair. So there's different shades. So for example, I have a little palette that has the shades Auburn, which has warmer undertones, which would be for somebody who had like reddish tones in their hair. I have dark brown, which is just kind of like a basic standard, which I think I might be using. Then there's chocolate, which is a little bit darker, but it's still a cool tone. And then there's medium brown, which is a brown with like warmer undertones. So if I put the medium brown on my eyebrows right now, you guys would notice a difference because it would pull a little bit red. Okay. It would look a little bit red. Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yeah. So I usually just try to match it to the hair.
The hair.
Yeah. I would say that's your best bet.
Chantel says she got her eyebrows tinted, but at a brow bar. She needs to know how to get this brows together during quarantine. Out of control. LOL.
Just leave them. Don't touch them. Just leave them.
Let them grow. That way you can have the nicest shape, right?
Yeah, don't do anything crazy. Just let them grow. So I'm going to go in with a very light shade. Actually the lightest cream shade in my eyeshadow palette here. And I'm going to take it on just a little eyeshadow brush. And I'm just going to go underneath my brow bone to highlight it a little bit. It's a little bit lighter than I thought, but that's okay. And then I'm going to go in with let's do like a medium taupe. This here is a nice one. And I'm going to use a kind of like a little fluffy brush there. And I'm going to go in and define my crease with that. So I start in the outer corner and I just do small circles in my crease in the outer corner. And then go into the other side and do the same thing. And I actually like to do this with my eyes open. Obviously, when you're working on yourself, you can open your eyes because you have to see where you're putting it. But even on clients, I like to do this with eyes open because you want to see how it's going to look when somebody's eyes are open. And then I might take some of that same shade that I just put in the crease on my flat eyeshadow brush again and go under my lash line, my lower lash line.
So Katie, in the other page, there's a question like, how do you, or what do you suggest for dark skin when it comes to like foundations, finding their foundation, or you mentioned the pencil for the eyebrows, try to match it to your hair.
Yeah.
And that palette that you show, I don't know the name. I don't know about makeup, so I don't know. Yeah, that palette. So I've been to the stores, right? And I see all these beautiful palettes that look like that has something that looks like a concealer.
Mm-hmm.
It has sometimes that brownish color or green. Don't ask me what those things are.
Yeah.
But like, how do you pick your color, or how do you work with like dark skinned people?
So this actually is an eyeshadow palette, but I know exactly what you're talking about when you are talking about the concealer palette. So really, when you want to match your skin tone, it's all about undertone. So first you have to find your shade. So for me personally, I am the shade medium in this foundation. It's gonna vary like depending what brand, because so many brands are so different. Like medium is probably like the 10th shade into this line, but then there's other shades where, I mean, there's other brands where I need to buy like the lightest color, which is crazy because I'm not the lightest color. And then so
And it
you
will
want
also depend, right, on the season, right? Because I noticed
to,
that your skin color is different. Like my skin, my foundation that I use in the winter doesn't match my skin in the summer.
yeah, I use probably two full shades darker in the summer. But the one thing that will stay the same, and the one thing that you want to make sure that you're matching correctly, is actually your skin's undertone. So you can have a more cool undertone, which would mean you have more pinks in your skin, or you
Mm-hmm.
could have a warmer undertone, meaning you have more like yellows and goldens under your skin. Or you could be like really, really neutral. And I'm pretty neutral. You can see here, and it's like I do get pink. So this foundation runs a little bit more warm. And you can kind of see that if you look, right? So see how this appears a little bit more yellow than here. So you need to find, and it's really hard for me because I'm really neutral. So if I like got a pink shade, it would be way too pink on my skin. But you need to figure out what your undertone is. So one way that you can do that is they say if you look at your veins, and your veins appear green. You can't really see that. If you have like greener veins, that means you have yellow, more of a yellow undertone. If you have like really blue veins, that means you have more of a pink undertone.
What if I can't see my veins?
If you can't see your veins, so when you're
I
shopping,
could barely see my veins, but they're like a little green, faded green.
It's hard. Sometimes it's hard to see. But when you're shopping for foundations, if you're shopping at like Sephora or Ulta or somewhere that you can swatch them, if you put a little bit on like the inside of your arm, you'll be able to tell right away if it's too cool or too warm. So that'll be able to tell you pretty clearly if you're warm or cool. And most brands, they label their foundations. Or a lot of brands, not every brand, because this one doesn't, but a lot of them will say like MAC does. They do like NC is cool or warm, and NW.
Alheris wants to know, how often do you clean your brushes?
So my personal brushes, I'm like the worst. You should clean them once a week at least. I cleaned these ones like 2 weeks ago, which is bad. I should probably do them again. But I also haven't really been wearing makeup because I've been home. But when I do makeup, I clean them in between every single client. Every single client. They get shampooed, conditioned, and sanitized with rubbing.
Samantha got great palettes for women with darker skin. If anyone interested, reach out to Samantha. And let me see here. Gloria said, ladies, don't be afraid to use shimmer during the day.
Yes.
Just light on the application.
Yes.
Isn't that like glittery?
Shimmer is like, I wouldn't say glittery, but it has like a little bit of a, see how it's like a little bit metallic either?
Yeah.
So that's what I was going to do next. I was going to take a little bit of a shimmery shadow, and I was just going to put it over just my lid.
Let me give you the full screen so we can really see it.
See? Shimmery. Still subtle. Still subtle. So then to finish off this look, I could either throw on mascara, or if I wanted to do like a little bit of a liner, I'm just going to take a darker shade of brown eyeshadow, and I'm going to go back in with my angled brush. I'm just going to pull my eyelid and just line my lashes just to make them.
So what you're doing now is almost like applying eyeliner but with the powder?
Yes. So it's a little softer than applying a pencil or a gel or a liquid liner. So I usually don't actually wear any eyeshadow or eyeliner during the day when I go to work. But if you wanted to do something like nice and soft, you could just use a dark brown or a medium brown eyeshadow.
Let's see what Chantel says. So Chantel says she don't normally do makeup on the, on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And she don't like it a lot when she does, but she wants to start a bit more. Generally, she gets overwhelmed with all the things that there are out there. So what products would you suggest for a beginner?
So I completely agree with her about getting overwhelmed with all the products that are out there, because I think the beauty industry has just like gotten so crazy with everybody coming out with like a new hyped up palette like every 6 months. Honestly, like for the basics, I would just get yourself, first of all, start with like a good moisturizer. Make sure that you have a good moisturizer that you can use under your makeup. And then depending on how much coverage you want, either like a tinted moisturizer, a BB cream, or a foundation, a concealer, maybe a powder. And then you could do a blush if you wanted to do a blush, bronzer, highlighter, mascara. And then if you just get a shadow palette that has basic neutrals, so from like your lights all the way to your darks, you can pretty much do your eyebrows with what's in here. You can do your eyeshadow with what's in here, and you can do your liner like I just showed you with what's in here. So something, if you just get basic neutrals, you don't need to get like a giant palette. You could literally buy eyeshadow singles in the shades that work best for you. So you could get like a shimmery champagne, like to put on your eyelid, like how I did here. Or if you wanted to do like a shimmery bronze, if you have a darker skin, you could get like an ashy brown or a chocolate brown for your crease here, which would also work for eyeliner. And then if you get an eyeshadow shade that matches your eyebrows, you can use that for eyeshadow and eyebrows as well. So I love to buy products that are dual purpose, that I can use for more than one thing.
And talking about buying products, Katy, so you are a makeup artist, and I'm sure you're at Sephora all the time. But let's say for those of us that don't have the budget to go shop at Sephora,
yes,
what items what brand do you recommend from CVS or Walgreens that are good quality?
Yes. Okay. So I have a ton of drugstore stuff that I love. Honestly, Wet n Wild, amazing. Has like an amazing liquid eyeliner that's like $2. Their highlighters are amazing, and they're like $2. I had mentioned earlier when I was doing my blush that Milani makes a really good blush product. Elf Cosmetics, like half of my brushes are Elf Cosmetics. Elf also has a really good setting powder that I like to use. And then for eyeshadows, I would say ColourPop, which you can't get at like the drugstore, but they have it at Ulta, and it's really affordable. And ColourPop has like really good lipsticks and lip glosses. They have awesome eyeshadows, and they're really, really affordable.
Awesome.
Yeah, so you don't need to spend a fortune on anything really. I would say like if you were going to invest in one product, I would say invest in your foundation.
A
I
good
think
quality
that's
foundation.
yeah. But there's also foundations at their drugstore that are great. NYX makes a good foundation, the Total Drop one. I like that one. And then Revlon Color Stay is a really good full coverage matte foundation.
So I've been to the drugstore before, like Walgreens and CVS, and let me tell you, I'm one of those people trying on all kinds of things in my hand, and then it's almost like I don't know what shade. Like, what do you try? If I find a foundation in CVS and I want to be like, oh, does this match my skin? Do you try it like right here?
I usually will take it and dot it on my neck because you want
Oh,
to match your chest. So
okay.
you dot it like right here. But if there's, I know how like CVS doesn't really have like mirrors and stuff for you to check in. So
Nice.
if you were at a drugstore and they didn't have a mirror that you could look in, I would do it on the inside of your arm.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah. But other than that, you always want to try to match your chest and your neck.
And can you explain to us how you doing that mascara right now? Because I do it all sorts of way. Let me tell you, I start doing this, and then I poke myself a lot of the time. So like,
Um,
do you? Because I see some people that they do this. They kind of like start from the top and then roll it up, or you
so
just go
I
up.
go I go underneath and I wiggle it and pull it out. Can you guys see that? So I go under, wiggle it, and pull it out. And then I also like to do my lower lashes. A lot of people don't do their lower lashes, but
Let me tell you, the lower lashes look so beautiful. It makes your eyes pop, right?
yeah, it
The
really
same
does.
thing. I do my lower lashes and I get all this bottom thing dirty.
Yep. Sometimes it's just part of the process and you just got to go back in and
And how many times do you do the top? Because I seen you doing it a whole bunch of times.
I have never really counted, but I kind of just
Until you get that look that you're looking for.
yeah, just until it like is good, you know. But at least I would say 2 coats. Some people don't like to have huge eyelashes. I love to have huge eyelashes, so I do a lot of coats. But if you're just looking for like a little bit, you just have to go over it twice, really. A really really good drugstore mascara that I love is the L'Oreal Voluminous in Carbon Black, the shade Carbon Black. It's really, really good. I use it in my kit, actually. I use it on like 90%.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Jenny joined us. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Joselito. Let's see. Hi, Carla. Thanks for joining us. And Gloria said, "Great job, ladies. Sorry I have to bounce." And she blew us a kiss.
See ya. Thanks for joining us. I don't really know what's going on with my hairdo right now, but you know, it is what it is. So yeah, that's like my pretty much every day aside from the
Would you
outside.
call this a soft look?
A what? A soft look? Yeah, for sure. Now, if I put on like a winged eyeliner with this and then threw on like a red lipstick, that could take in a whole different direction.
Or darker eyeshadow, right?
Yeah, you could do like a deeper eyeshadow or just like a winged eyeliner with like a liquid liner. Or if you just threw on a dark lip, like I'm sure you know, I love having some dark lips on me.
I know.
Love dark lips. For like
So
day.
let's say I learned how to do this look on my own without any support from YouTube or you. And let's say I went to work and then let's say I all day I had this look and then at 7 p.m. I had an event at work. Would I have to let's say I want to change the look a little bit. So I want to do some new a new color for my eyelashes, a new color for my eyeshadow, and a new color for lipstick. Do I have to actually remove the old eyeshadow first? Or can I just put the darker one on top?
I always will just layer what's on top. If I go out after work, I just layer what's already there.
Oh, okay.
I don't take anything off.
Chantel says beautiful.
Thank you.
Loves the look.
Aw, thank you.
It does look beautiful. Oh, so Katy, so is the look done?
Yeah, so that's pretty much it. So I just threw on really quickly this kind of pinkish liquid lipstick. It's one of my favorites. It's the Stila Stay All Day liquid lipstick. It really
Is it matte?
It's a matte one, but it's not wicked drying. Some of them are like wicked drying. They're not super expensive. You can get them on sale all the time. This one came in like, it's a mini one, but it came in like a multi-set of like 3 or 4 different colors. It was probably like $18 around the holidays. I love those ones. But some days I just throw on some lipstick. Some days I throw on some lip gloss. Some days I don't throw on anything on my lips. It just depends on my mood. I do love the NYX butter glosses.
Oh yeah.
This is a red one. So if you put this on, it's like,
don't they last for like hours, that one? Oh yeah. Yes.
See how that like took that look to another level.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes that's all you need. Like if you went to work with this and then you were going out after and you just threw on like a darker lip. That's what I do most of the time. Is I just throw on a darker lip.
Now we know some of your tricks.
I love lipstick and I shouldn't say I hate eyeshadow. I'm just like lazy.
You dislike some eyeshadows?
When it comes to myself, I'm just like lazy when it comes to eyeshadow, and I don't like to do eyeshadow. But I also have like pretty squinty eyes, so I feel like sometimes eyeshadow doesn't do as much for me as if I like put lipstick on, because I got pretty good lips.
You sure do. Do you find that for people? What do you recommend for people that have hooded eyes?
Hooded eyes.
I think I have hooded eyes, right?
Your eyes are slightly hooded. They're not completely hooded. So the thing is that the way you apply eyeshadow is gonna affect the way that your eyes appear. So it's creating an optical illusion basically. So by me putting a darker brown in my crease here, it's making it recede because darker and cooler colors recede. So it's making it look like there's more dimension there than there actually is. Mm-hmm. So you have to, if you go online and you just like look up a face chart for eyeshadow for people with hooded eyes, you should be able to find a really good one that kind of shows you exactly where to place the eyeshadow. Same thing with liner. So like if you put like eyeliner on somebody who has completely hooded eyes, you're not even going to see it when their eyes are open. But if you put just like a little flick coming out, mm-hmm. That's like all you really need if you have completely hooded eyes. So you want to put less. That's going to take away. You don't want to make your eyelids look smaller than they already are, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, so this was awesome. We need to do it more often. Especially, we need to do one just for the eyebrows. That's a whole nother beast.
I know.
So if people wanted to stay in touch with you, how can they do that?
So I have a Facebook page for my makeup artistry. It's I think if you search Face by Katy Ann, but I can either
I posted it there now.
Yeah. And then I'm also on Instagram under @Face by Katy Ann, KATYANN. And then I have a website which is just facebykaty.com. So that's kind of where I post my professional portfolio, and I have all my contact information is right on there as well.
So that's the website, facebykaty.com.
Facebykaty.com. That's it.
Awesome. So guys, if you want to stay in touch, go follow her on her Facebook page.
Yes, please.
Facebook page, Katy Tamika. Facebook page, Face by Katy. Her website, facebykaty.com. And you say you are on Instagram, right?
Yes.
She's on Instagram. So you probably if you go to her Facebook, you most likely find her. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you, Katy.
Thank you. This was
thank you so much.
Now I like to sit on my couch for the rest of the night.
Well, let me send you off because I know you have things to do, but I appreciate you coming
Of
here and
course.
doing this tutorial almost a whole hour. I totally appreciate it. So we're gonna do the raffle now. So if you want to stay, you're more than welcome to stay, but if you log off, it's totally fine too. So guys, we are going to do the raffles, and I know you all been waiting for this all week, right? So it's raffle time. Let me just remove this little banner from here so I don't keep putting it up and putting it up. So it's raffle time. So let's see. Who are the winners? So first we are going to raffle the canvas, and the canvas were donated by Samantha, and Samantha was one of the speakers. She's the one that did the liquid pour, acrylic liquid pour. So she is donating 3 of those canvas for our raffle, and I have the names here. So the canvas winners are, and you're going to know who you are. If there's multiple people here with the same first name, you are going to know who you are because I'm going to email you tonight, right after I do this live, letting you know, guess what? You're a winner. Thank you for participating. Thank you for registering. So the people that are that were entering into the raffle are those of you that actually register for the 5-day summit. So here we are. So these are the winners of the canvas. Ariana, you won one. Pamela, you won one. And Sandra, you won one. So congrats, guys. Thank you for being part of this. So now, let's see. So we have another prize, and this prize is going to the person that first registered out of 67 people that register. She was the first one that registered. So this is for Ria. Ria, so your prize, I'm going to inbox you. You get to pick any item, one item from my shop. And items in my shop are anywhere from $5 to $57. So you get to pick one item, whatever you need. You can pick it there, and I'll send you a code. So when you do the checkout, you don't have to pay. So then we have another grand prize, and this prize goes to, and the way, guys, that I did this, I submitted every single name, all 67 names, to this app, and the app actually helps you pick the person, right? So the next prize goes to Brenda. Brenda, you are the winner of the last prize, and it's a $25 Amazon gift card sponsored by the show, the Gold Slayer Show. So I will inbox you to get your information. Actually, all I need is your email address, but I'm just going to make sure that I have the right email to send you your gift card from Amazon for $25. So guys, this is the end. You will all get an email from me. If you register, you're going to get an email from me sometime by Monday with who the winners are and also the contact information for every guest that we had here, in case you want to either follow them, in case you want to contact them, in case you have some questions about their topic, or in case you just want to get their services, whatever it is that they were offering. So you will get all that information in the email if you register, and you will also get a link of the videos for each one of the days. All the sessions is going to be in a link in an email for you to watch at your convenience, and you're welcome to share the videos. So let's see some questions before I let you guys go. Tamika says hello. Hi, Tamika. Chantel says congrats, everyone, and a big shout out. Wait, there. Oh, Chantel said, oh wait, there's more. LOL. Alheri, thank you, Rosa, for all the wonderful people and info we got this week. Great work. Thank you, Alheris. Tavia, thank you, guys. So a big shout out to all the speakers. Let me tell you guys, we put this together within a week, and the way that this came together, right? I could have not done it without them. So the way that this came together, I put a post on my personal Facebook page asking what is something that they will teach someone without them having to leave their house, meaning that without the person having to leave their house, right? So the people that were guest speakers here, they all made a comment, and some of them actually filled slots for other speakers that other priorities came up and they couldn't make it. And some of them were very last minute. Two of them, I asked them like the day before, and they were like, wow, that's going to be a challenge, but I'm all for it. And guess what? They came and they killed it. So big shout out to all of you, the speakers. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. And I actually created a banner. But, I get too excited talking. So let me see. Where did I do with that banner? So I was saying, like, thank you to all the speakers. You guys actually show up and show out, and you guys rock. So till next time, guys, take care of yourself and each other, and reach out to me if you have any questions. Talk to you soon. Bye.